All right, this next one is a busy one, right? This one is 206.
Oh, we're on 205.
Oh, did we? Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I won't skip.
So we'll do an easy one before we go in the hard one.
All right.
So has anyone ever ascended into heaven? John says no one but Christ, but then Genesis, 2 Kings, and Hebrews give several examples. So clearly John 3 talks about Christ ascending into heaven. We see that in the book of Acts. And then Enoch is in Genesis and the Hebrews passage. And then 2 Kings is Elijah rather than Elisha.
Yeah.
I always get them confused.
Why don't you read the 2 Kings passage?
2 Kings. And they still went on and talked, and behold, chariots of fire and horses of fire separated the two of them, Elijah and Elisha. And Elijah went up in a whirlwind into heaven.
So he clearly went into heaven, right?
Wow. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not. He did not die, for God took him. Or that's what we kind of assume.
Yeah.
Die in the sense of died of old age or some cause. He just seemed to ascend.
Yeah.
So clearly a contradiction because it says only Christ did, but then of course we see these examples. Well, failure to read the text carefully because it's for what direction? It's not just a up direction; it's a also down direction, which that's what the context here is talking about. It's Nicodemus saying, how are we to believe these things? And it says that Jesus came down from heaven, which we clearly accept with the incarnation, and then he ascends back into heaven, which is his rightful place. And he tells the apostles that, and they don't understand until the Holy Spirit comes upon them. So, yeah.
Good. So Jesus really, currently no one living on earth has ever ascended to heaven and then returned back, right? And so as to report what he or she has seen. Jesus was talking about he was able to communicate to us what heaven was like because he had been there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and in the full context of the Trinity, which is very important to understand in most of these answers, and then understanding the relationship he had with the Father and the Spirit, how he was able to be sent by the Father, how him and the Father were able to send the Spirit, which I think was one of our other questions that we answered. So we kind of have only that, and really John's kind of visionary translation into heaven, but not an actual physical going into heaven and coming back.
Yeah, good. So no contradiction there. Sorry, critic.